Welcome to our ICE online assembly. My name's Sally. Now, this half term we thought we'd take a look at the life of Daniel because he had a really interesting life that can help us in our lives today. Now, he lived a long time ago. He lived 2,600 years ago. To help you think about that, if we're here at the year 2020, and Jesus is 2,000 years before us in the year 0, Daniel lived 600 years before Jesus. So that's a long time ago. And in his lifetime, his people, the people of Israel, decided to stop following God. And they saw an invading army come and take them all out of their homes into a completely different situation. Daniel was living in very uncertain times. Now, we don't have an invading army coming into our country, thank goodness. But we're also living in uncertain times, aren't we? Things are very different at the moment. And people all around the world are getting to grips with the new normal. Maybe some people are struggling to get through. And Christians believe that the Bible is a really great place to look at times like these. Because in the Bible we see people who experience all sorts of things. And some people really struggle to get through. But we also see how God looked after them and helped them through their situations. And Daniel's story is a real story of that. No matter what challenges he faced or what choices he had to make, he kept on looking to God, and God helped him through. So we're going to get stuck into the first bit of our story of Daniel, and Anne-Marie is going to join me to tell our story.
Okay, so here's the first part of the story of Daniel. Are you ready?
No, I'm not ready, and you're going to see exactly why in a second.
Alright, here we go. Listen very, very carefully. This retelling of Daniel's story is going to be a little cheesy, but still great, if you ask me. Now, the people of God had turned away from him. They didn't appreciate all of the things that God had done for them. They still wanted to do things exactly their own way. So, the king of Babylon came and invaded their land and took many people captive back to Babylon. Their rebellion against God wasn't meant to be. King Nebuchadnezzar wanted some of the young men from the upper crust who had been taken captive to serve him in his palace. So he ordered them to be trained for 3 years. Now they had been taken captive from their friends, their families, and now they had to learn a whole new language in a whole new country with lots of different rules that they had to follow. It was a hard wake-up call for those who thought they could ignore God, but it was too late now. They had to deal with it. Daniel decided, however, that he was going to keep calm and carry on trusting God. The king provided rich, appealing food from his own table to feed the captive students. But Daniel and his friends decided they weren't going to eat it. You see, God's people have lots of rules about what kinds of food they're allowed to eat. Daniel decided that even though he was far from home, he still wanted to follow God. God was the one for him. So, even if it made him seem like a weirdo, Daniel went to the official who was in charge of all of the students to see if they could tackle about it. Well, the official was worried at first. He didn't want to get the blame if Daniel and his friends got sick or too weak to study. But Daniel said it's a natural problem and suggested that they test it out. He and his friends would have veggies and water, while the other students ate the king's food. And after 10 days, the official could judge and see who looked healthier. Daniel trusted that God would be able to get them through it because they were sticking to God's rules. And Daniel's friends joined him too. Now that's friendship goals. Well, after the 10 days had passed, the official found that Daniel and his friends were doing super. They looked much healthier than the others, and so the official scrapped the king's rich food and made sure that every student ate like Daniel and his friends. Then, when the 3 years was up, it was time for King Nebuchadnezzar to choose who would serve him in his palace. And because Daniel had trusted God more and worried less about how he looked, God had given a great blessing to Daniel and his friends. He gave them knowledge and understanding of all kinds of books and learning, And to Daniel, he gave a latte wisdom. He even had the ability to understand dreams and visions. King Nebuchadnezzar found that Daniel and his friends were 10 times better than not just the other students, but all his other advisors too. And so, he chose them to serve in the palace. Now, those guys were some real role models.
Ugh, so many puns, Anne-Marie. I think if Daniel had a time machine and were to visit us in 2020, he'd probably feel a bit at home in the way that we're feeling at the moment. Because we're living in uncertain times as well, aren't we? There are new rules that we are learning to follow to keep each other safe. And maybe some of us are missing friends or family who we can't see in the way we could a year ago. We're definitely living in a new normal. So, what lessons can we learn from Daniel to help us through? Because he and his friends stood out, didn't they? They were acting differently from the others. And no one likes standing out, do they? It feels a bit awkward. What do they do, Anne?
Well, Daniel, first of all, resolved himself to choose to follow God. When you resolve yourself, it means you decide, you make a choice. So Daniel chose to keep following God's rules for his life. And second of all, Daniel trusted that God was going to get him through those uncertain times. He knew that God was there for him, and whatever happened, God would still be there for him.
So maybe we can take Daniel's example and do those two things as well. Maybe we can practice resolving ourselves to do things God's way. So that means in those times when we're not sure, we choose to follow the way that God says is right, or follow the way that is kind, making those choices. And secondly, maybe we can choose to trust God like Daniel did, to give us the courage to get through, to give us the help we need to shine like lights in sometimes times of darkness, to help the people around us out. I think in uncertain times that question of choices is a really important one. We all have choices in how we behave, don't we? In how we treat one another. Even when we're feeling anxious, we can make a choice to be kind. Maybe if we're the only one who chooses to trust God, we can still choose to do it, because for us we know that's the right thing to do. So I think we can definitely take Daniel's example about the choices we make in our lives.
We're going to finish our assembly time the same way we normally do, by having a time to think and a time to pray. We're going to do things just a little bit differently. I want you to take your thumb, put it up like this, and have a think about making a good choice. Whether it's a choice about how you behave at home, how you behave in school, how you treat other people. Imagine that choice is written on your thumb. Now you're going to open your palm, fold and tuck away that choice that you have made. This is a symbol that shows that you are resolved to make that change. You will do your very best. But remember, in our story, Daniel didn't just trust his own hard work, but he also trusted God. So take your other hand and wrap it around your fist. This is a symbol of God covering us and being with us through those choices that we make. And throughout the day, if we need reminding of that good choice that we've made, we can always repeat this action. And some of you might realise that it's a little bit like when we put our hands together to pray. So we can remember that we want to make those good choices and that God is with us. So let's just have a quick prayer, shall we, to ask God to help us do that. So dear God, thank you so much that you are with us each and every day through all of these uncertain times. Please help us to trust you in the same way that Daniel did, and help us to keep making those good choices, knowing that you are with us through every step of the way. Amen. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you again soon.